It's time. It is Monday, November 25, 20 in the 24 on the Mayan calendar, 3:08 p.m. in the darkening skies of the farm fields of Valparaiso, Indiana. Don't you love winter when it gets dark at like 4 o'clock? I don't. Okay, checking in today. We did have some action. I got in a little early on my GLD and SLV, these two GLD and SLV calls that I purchased last week. You can see I'm way down on my whiskey on the 245 call, almost $9,000 down, 17.53%. And on the 27 strike SLV calls, that's the silver ETF, that's the gold ETF. Got 100 contracts there, down 11% at $5,500 into the underwater. But what do you do in that scenario? You just double down. You double down. So we got the so what else went on? So the SLV, I did add and double down on that position. Actually, a different position. That was a 27 strike. You can see it there on Friday. I went with one strike lower at 26, and I spent less money on it, $48,500. Same on the GLD. You can see we went down a strike. Those are $5 increments on those leaps contracts. So I went down the 240, 10 contracts, and I paid. That's only a half position. But if you would have doubled that to 20 contracts, that would have been 48,000 that I paid, which would have been 3,000 less than what I paid on a Friday for a strike that is deeper in the money. So I still feel very strongly about silver and gold. Obviously, it's all you talk about. Coiled Spring coming again to a theater near you, and then TMF, which is a three times bull on the TLT. The TLT is based on the bonds, 10 years, and we sold them. I don't know if you remember, if you've been following along or not, but I took that position and it just went way downtown to Chinatown. At one point, I was almost $15,000 in the red. And then we did a 180 and ended up with a $30,000 swing from $15,000 underwater to a $15,357 profit in 14 days, a little under 14 days if you averaged it. But the first tranche I took was exactly 14 days ago. And then back up to the top here, AGQ, that is a 2 times bull on silver. I dipped my toes in because I still don't know. We'll look at the chart in a second. I think it did confirm that I was right the first time that we were in an ABC, and this will hopefully complete the C, but it could just be head faking us again. So I did add 1,000 shares at $36.99, and they're currently trading at $37.44. So I'm up like $440 bills on that move. But is it the low? Don't know yet. Don't know, but we'll look at silver right now on the Trading View chart. And so what I'm going to do right before your very eyes is I'm going to move this over and call this the C wave. Let's just say that was it. That would be amaze balls. And let's move the red trend line down, hoping that this is the bottom of C, but it could easily pull the old A equals C routine and then continue. So it bumped back up, as you can see here, but it could take one more lower low down. I would imagine it could, getting us back into a 29 handle. But just in case, I went ahead and got involved in those silver positions ahead of time, because again, big picture is way off the screen here, way off the screen. Probably 50, well, let's call it 51, which would be a new all-time high. Going to take out that 50 that's only been hit twice in its entire existence. So we'll see. We could take another turn and be back into the 29s by tomorrow or Wednesday, or we can call it right there. But we need 5 waves up, and ABC corrective down, and that should confirm that this was the local low on the silver chart. Otherwise, I'll be ready for more tranches down here with the 29 handle on the silver. Next up, Bitcoin. Man, I still think about that BidX position that I had that would have went to the moon if I wouldn't have been stopped out because of my fear. But we've had a sizable pullback from nearly hitting 100, and now we're currently at 95, and we did see a 94 today. What did we see? Like 94.4. That could be it. That could be it. Or I can imagine that could go down all the way to 92, even as early as overnight. But that could be it. I got to put some fibs on here and try to get some counts going because I run hot and I run cold on the Bitcoin. We had that BitX trade right. We were just early. We were a little early and then got a little too nauseous / cautious. Had my stop set too high. Should have gave it a little more breathing room and I would have made, instead of losing whatever we lost there, like $7,000, I probably would have made 20, 30 grand. Anywho, don't suffer from FOMO. So I just want to learn from all these things. Just like with the TMF, I was able to let that breathe. Here it is, based on the TLT, and was rewarded for doing so. Do I still think we're going to take 93 out and then some? I do, absolutely. I just don't know how much more. I mean, you remember all this churn I went through. Hello. Then we had the warning Will Rogers line up at like 89.50. We threatened it 1, 2, 3 and tapped it on the fourth time. But I hung in there. Didn't even have stop set on the TMF. And we put the down trend line in and we broke out. Like, okay, now we got all this. We will wobble, but please don't fall down. And I put in the old, you can do it, either Thursday or Friday morning, this golden line here. And then today we just gapped up big time. Gapped on up, moving on up. And then I sold right around this spot. I didn't like that red candle. I knew 93 is major resistance here, so I thought they might try to check out early and take a wave down, and if so, if it still looks to be impulsive, then I could always get back in tomorrow, as early as tomorrow, as long as it's under what I just sold for. That would be the thesis there, because I still think this is going, I don't know, 100, going to 100. I just don't know how long it will take to get there. So I wanted to regroup, put a couple dollar bills into my My Little Pony Velcro wallet, stuff that right firmly into the fanny pack on top of the skinny jeans. And then I will just wait patiently for the gold and silver to produce what it will produce. Coiled spring is happening there. I will be buying on the way down if it continues to go down. What happened to this chart? Oh, there it is. Hey, so what I'm looking at right to do right before your very eyes, well, I'll do it offline because you know what happens when I try to mess with this. Can we mess with it now? Can we move the 1 down? We just did. Can we move the 2? Is this going to be it? I don't know. It'd be a pretty fast and wicked 2. So does that make this 3 lower? Probably a little bit. Maybe bring it down to like 28. Nice round number. 28-ish. I'll put that there. Come over here, move this 4. We don't want to encroach on the 1. Call it there for now, but we'll still leave the 5 at 3,000 just because it's fun. Just because that's fun. In case you're interested, TradingView is Black Friday sale happening, up to 70% off, 1 free month. I'll have to check my subscription. I think I have one of the premium levels. I don't know. I'll check that, let you know. I certainly don't use it to its full capacity. I will be looking to buy silver today. I've got these Scottsdale Chunky Monkeys. I was actually looking to buy up to 100 ounces today. Should have pulled the trigger this morning before I went to the gym, but I didn't, of course. Maybe 100 ounces today, and then if it does get into the 29s again, I'll buy another 100 there. Maybe more if the fibs and the waves look to be acting properly. Today was options expiration for silver futures, so that was certainly some of the volatility. The cartel was very successful in knocking that. I don't think it didn't touch anywhere in the 29s, did it? Cartel, yeah, they got it all the way down to $30.06, and now it's back up to 30.32. So they did a good job. I'm sure covered, rolled, whatever they needed to do to continue to manipulate the silver market. Still working on my long thesis on the silver squeeze that I want to share with you, and then maybe encourage you to be part of the, I don't know, kind of like pirates storming the ships of the greedy son of a guns we call the COMEX, and all the big bankers that like to manipulate any and all markets that they can to make more dollar bills, y'all. So that's what's going on. Oh yeah, we forgot to say we got back up over the 2.5 mark, which was nice. That was my original goal prior to the election because I was so heavy in precious metals, and I knew that if it was a swift election, that gold and silver would suffer. If it was a contested election and we didn't know the results right away, gold and silver was going to explode. So I rolled the dice, took my chances. I made the right call. I wasn't able to get out when I actually wanted to because I had like 17,000 shares worth of AGQ still covered with covered calls. So I wasn't unable to sell them when I wanted to, but still got out with a very hefty profit on AGQ, silver, and gold. Now dipping our toes back in, looking for that bottom because we're going to be going up, up, up and away shortly. So that's what I've got checking in. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Hope you watched my Packers put a resounding trouncing onto the 49ers. If you're a 49ers fan, I completely understand. That is not a way you want to play a game with your backup quarterback and your best defensive end out. But I thought the Packers looked reasonably well against the well-coached and highly talented 49ers. Like, subscribe, comment, share with a lovable friend, and I will see you in the next video.